Good evening. Hello, you guys. Happy Tuesday. I'm Melissa Miller. Okay, so here we are here. I've got my stencil right on my hat. You guys, I'm going to just treat this like I would a canvas. I'm going to set this down. One of the things, I want to show you a couple things. Obviously, you can stencil this, and tonight I'm going to be just using acrylic paint, which is what I use on almost all of my lives, unless you hear me say otherwise. So I want to make sure you can see what I have going on. I'm going to show you how I stencil, and I'm going to use a dome brush, which is fantastic. The dome brushes are my favorite to use on the hats. Now, I don't want a ton of paint on my brush still, so I'm just going to load it up. I got the paint worked into those bristles, and we're going to go right over here, and you're going to watch that I'm going to stencil this little mountain right here. I'm just going to keep my fingers right down here, and these little brushes work fabulous on this fabric. So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to go ahead and get this on there. Next thing I want to show you, this is a trick or a tip that you're going to be able to use. You could use this on any of your fabrics, to be honest, but this is a friction pin or a heat friction pin, and it disappears whenever you heat it. So if you are nervous about using the stencil on fabric, you can order these heat friction pins, and you can go in here. I'm going to show you something, okay? You can go in here and you can, honest to God, just trace this design on if you want to, right? So you can trace it on. So I'm going to trace this guy on. And then if you want to take your paintbrushes and paint it, you can paint the whole design however you want to paint it. So I wanted to show you these pins. So I'm going to show you this before I move on, okay? So look at that. See that? Now watch my hair dryer. You guys all see that on there? Now watch my hair dryer. Okay. So my marks are gone. I'm just going to smooth that out a little bit, and it is gone. Okay? So the only advantage of using the pin is that some of you get really nervous about this bleeding on there, right? So you can use your pin, and then you can do exactly what I'm going to show you I'm going to do tonight. So tonight I'm going to go ahead and I will show you that, the advantage of using that. I'll show you with this design specifically, because we're going to take this to the next level tonight, okay? So I'll go ahead and I'll leave my pin marks on these two big cactuses, okay? So we'll go ahead and I'm going to leave those on there. We're just going to put pin marks. I'm going to trace those, and I'm going to basically transfer this design right to my hat using this friction pin. And so we're using this design a little bit more freely tonight than just how you would use it out of the package, right? Stenciling it, you can absolutely just stencil this just fine. You can stencil it normal and it's going to come out so cute. However, tonight we are doing something a little bit different. The beauty of the friction pin, the advantage to this is that a lot of you, like I said, you might get a hat and you might get really nervous about your stenciling techniques, and you worry about it and you don't want to ruin your hat. I'm not saying that you have to do this by any means, but this is an option that I wanted to show you. Okay, here's a dome brush, and let's just go ahead and do these in, I'm going to use a dark green. Okay, so now we're going to take this off. So here we go, okay? Stenciled heat pen. This will all disappear. But let me just show you, like, these are just options I'm showing you, okay? I'm just showing you options of how you can create with this. I don't have a black Sharpie, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use this little Sharpie here, right? So I'm gonna just trace right over this cactus right here. And we're gonna use these little marks. And even though this is like a magenta colored Sharpie, I'm okay with it. I love my creative hats that I've made. I've made some really cool ones. And this will be a video that maybe if you grab this stencil or you have this stencil, you can come back to. So look at how cool the hat looks, even just in different colored markers and paint, right? Looks really good like that. Okay. So we're just going to have fun with this hat tonight. I'm going to get a little bit of green. And so you can use, I'm just going to fill this in. I'm just going to fill in this cactus with some green. And let's get a little bit of my green out. And I'm going to have to get a little bit of white. I don't even know, weeks now. Yep. Okay. So we're going to come in here and we're just going to cover up these little cactuses. And if I can't see the marks, I'm going to go back over them with a little bit of black. We are going to put some paint on these right up here, these little mountains. I'm going to go ahead and fill them in. I'm just going to go right around this little guy. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, I am going to go ahead and go over this with black. And you're going to see this change even more. I'm going to try to go over my lines with some black. Okay. And then see how that's looking? See how it looks different? So now let's go back down here. I'm going to take my little Sharpie here and I'm going to just outline these little guys. I'm going to go right back over these marks. I can still see. And I'm going to come right in here behind this. I'm just going to kind of feather it into the hat with some little bit of cross marks. And I just kind of want to blend some of these colors together a little bit. So that's why I got the water. And you can even blend it a little bit with your fingers once you have a little bit of water on there. I'm just going to kind of bring it on down. Same brush, just try to lighten it as I go down a little bit maybe. And we're going to just fill it in. You could see yourselves coming back here, watching this. You can see I'm not doing anything really neat, right? I'm just using my finger paint, almost like finger painting. And that's kind of what's going to make it look so different. And so almost like if you want it to look really worn, you can do it even more. And then that blue. Okay, let me set this up. Let me set this up. And before, like, so these little guys on the tops here, I would probably add some deep coral. But let me hold this up. I'm going to show you guys because you'll think it's going to look so different. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll add a band. I'll add everything to it that I want to add to it. So look at this. What do you think? So if you wanted to seal this, Donna, you would use like a Thompson's, like a waterproofing spray, like for your outdoor camping stuff or something. I don't know why it would really need to be sealed. And so like up here, I could go ahead and paint the rest of this blue and take that sky all the way across if I wanted to. But I could also save this for some writing. Like this is the top, this is the front of the hat, and this would all be on the back. And that's just some dry brushing right there. Look at that. Look at how that is, right? Like, and then up close, you see some of my imperfections. You see that I didn't fill that in, but it was not hard. So hopefully it inspires you to try it. Hopefully it inspires you to watch for the new hat stencils. Go get the things that are in stock before they are gone, because I know that they are low stock. And you can do the same thing with any of those hat stencils. Okay, let's see if we've got, let's try this one. Here we go. So now look at how cute. Look at how cute that is. Hopefully you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little big. Okay, come back next week. I will be here doing something fun again, something creative, something crafty, and we'll DIY some projects and see what happens. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.